Want to create clean spacing and eye-catching depth in your website? Learn CSS box shadow, margin and padding right way in this video. In this video, we will learn CSS box shadow, CSS margin and CSS padding step by step with simple examples. These CSS properties help you add spacing, layout control and professional shadow effects to your web pages. This tutorial is perfect for beginners learning CSS, web development and front-end design. In the previous video, I had taught you how can we add the CSS border and the CSS border radius to our project what we are designing in our VS Code. In this video, we are going to learn CSS box shadow, CSS margin and padding. Let's begin our topic. How can we apply CSS box shadow? Now just I am not giving the much theoretical part as I mentioned in all the videos to you. Just I show you how can we do practical in our project. Now I am going to open our project live. Just have a look how this is going to display in this way. In today's video, as I showed you how we are going to add the box shadow. Now just have a look in this video. We don't have any shadow to our box. In the previous video, just we had learned how can we give the border and the border radius. Border means how can we apply this box, how can I be given this box, and the radius means how can we given this curve to the box. This is the radius and this is how can we apply the borders. Now I am going to show you how can we give the shadow to look it's clean and the eye catching. Now I am show you how can we just in the notes I had given you we can apply horizontal, vertical and the blur and the color. Now just have a look how I am going to apply this format to our project. Now I am going for the title. Now I am giving title. I am giving the box shadow. Box shadow. Sorry, I had clicked the wrong option. Box shadow I am applying 2 pixel 2 pixel 2 pixel and 10 pixel. What it means I had given you in the notes, that is what I have given you: horizontal, vertical, blur and color. In this way this is going to apply. This is what horizontal, vertical, blur and color. This is the format which we are going to apply. This is only the way. Now just have a look. This we had applied the shadow to it, but as of now we don't have any spacing between the boxes. So what we applied, we unable to see it's working or not. For that we need to apply some margin. Now I am going to show you how can we apply margin to our project. Now I am giving the spacing between. Now I am giving the margin for this one, for the bottom. In the margin we can give the margin top, means it will apply spacing to the top. Margin right means it apply to the right. Margin left means it apply to the right side. Now I am applying, I need the spacing at the bottom, so I am applying the margin bottom 20 pixel. Now just have a look how it's going to display in this way. Now we have the shadow, but to make you understand I will give you the dark color so that you can understand easily. Instead of giving this one, I am using the RGB colors. As I told you how can we use the RGB colors, and we can use it the n number of colors. So I am using the red, dark red. Now just have a look how I am given the box shadow. Now I had applied the margin to our heading. As I showed you, I had applied the margin. Now I want to give spacing inside. I need some space between this content and the box when we start. So I'm giving padding to it. Now I'm giving padding also 20 pixel. Just have a look how it's going to work. Now it's having the space between this one. This is what I am going to taught you. This is the difference between the margin and the padding. When I had applied, as I shown you, when we apply the margin bottom, we had got space between these two boxes. When I applied the padding, we got spacing between this one. This is what, when we apply the padding means we will get spacing between this one, between the box we have, between the content, whatever we have, we will get the spacing between the content and the box. We had the spacing. When I had applied, when I had applied the margin, it got the spacing between the two boxes. When I applied the padding, it was the inside the box. I had got space inside the box. This is what difference between the margin and the padding. Now I am going to apply the margin and the padding for this content. Now just have a look how it is going to work. I am giving the margin bottom for all, not this one. We had the span, we had given you margin bottom. I am giving 10 pixel. Now just have a look how it's going to display. We have spacing between the box, but it's not looking good, so I want to give the spacing between the content. I want the space like this. Inside the box I need to give the spacing, so I am giving the padding. As I told you, when we need the space outside the box, I am using the margin. When I need the space inside the box, I am using the padding. I had applied the padding 10 pixel. Now just have a look how this is going to display in this way. Now I am going to apply box shadow to it. Box shadow 2 pixel, 2 pixel, and I am using, instead of this I can use any of the dark light colors, just to make you understand. As I told you, I am applying, this is the horizontal, vertical, blur and color. In this way we are going to apply. Now just have a look how it's going to display. This is going to display in this way. In this video I had showed you how can we apply the margin and the padding and the box shadow. In the previous video I had taught you how can we give the radius and the box, how can we make it to look it's clean. Now I had completed with the topic of CSS, margin, padding and the box shadow. In previous video I had taught you the CSS border and the CSS border radius. In the next video I have you understand this one, how I had applied the margin and the padding. Clearly I had showed you with the small example. I haven't given you the much theoretical part, just to I had given how can I given the horizontal vertical blur. We have to give in this form. We have the order to give, and I had showed you how can we give the CSS margin and the padding. Margin we can give top, right, bottom, left, in all the directions we can apply the margin. Padding also same, we can apply to the all directions. This is what I had taught you in this video. Before starting our semantics part and how can we design the body, I had to teach some of the important CSS styles. So I am taking the CSS styles and I had completed some of them. In the next video I am going to cover the CSS text styles. How can we give text to how can we give styles to our text, how can we give the font size, and how can we give the styles, and how can we change everything to our according to our needs. So I'm going to cover all the CSS text styles in our next video. And very important, how can we set up bootstrap icons for our project. It is very important. Before we start, how can we design our body. As of now we had completed our HTML elements and all the head elements. I had taught you how can we going to apply in the previous videos. In the next video just we are remaining with the CSS text style and how can we set up bootstrap icons for our project. After completing this, I am going to start with you the body semantics header we are going to start. Before that, it's very important to understand how can we set up bootstrap icons. Icons are necessary to make our website eye-catching and the very attractive. It's very important. So I'm going to cover this in the next video. Have As I showed in this video, how can we apply the box shadow, margin and the padding. This is very important to learn you in this video. As of now, I am finishing this session. I will start in the next section CSS text style and the bootstrap icons for our project. Thank you. Have a good one.